Dear friends and learners, I am here to introduce a new novel written by Aldous Huxley, that is in the year 1932. The name of the novel is Brave New World. Before we get into the novel, we need to know about the author first of all. His name is Aldous Huxley. He is a physician by profession, and he has seen the World War II and World War I. He is not able to attend any of the patients of the World War I and World War II, and he has got a grave pain in his heart. That grave pain made him to write. He is not able to create a perfect world physically. Just because of that, he wants to create a perfect world, at least by writing. So he is a person who turned out to be a writer after a physician. So he is a person turned writer, physician turned writer. So he's called, he has become very famous in 1932. So the vision that he has written in this novel is extraordinary. He wrote about genetic engineering, and that genetic engineering, in that novel he has written about genetic engineering, which talks about creating a kid or a child through test tube. One single test tube is enough to create 99 identical twins. But the similar thing has come true in this present world, which talks about test tube babies. So the test tube babies have come into existence in the present 21st century. Similarly, we can find the subjects of the world, Brave New World, undergo a process called Bokanovsky process. This Bokanovsky process is called brainwashing in the present world. So the Bokanovsky process that he has spoken in the novel, it has come true in the present 21st century as brainwashing. Another concept that he discussed is the hypnopedia. Hypnopedia is nothing but hypnotism in the present 21st century. He talks about training the brain to what he has to think and what he has to read or write, whatever may be. Another concept that he discussed in this novel is the sex, because he read many of the segments or writings which talks about the very problem of the world is sex. Sex is the main reason for each and every problem. That's what Freud says. So he took up that idea and he wants to implement in his novels. So what happened in that novel, the very motto of the novel is everyone belongs to everybody. So where the very motto has become true by the Indian rule section 371, where you can find sex is very much entertained in the present world also, where you can find area it was like a prostitute center or red light area, or now it has become a section 371 where you have to get a consent from the partner to have a sexual relationship with that person. It talks about, even in the novel, it talks about a concept called soma, which was taken very much from Indian myths or Indian literatures. Aldous Huxley came to India. He took he read the literatures of India. He came to know about a concept called soma, which is very much there in Indian literatures, which is called somapanam. And soma is a drug which is served in a new world, where you can find the subjects are given drugs and they cannot think, they have to have a sexual pleasure with the ladies or the women in the world of that brave new world. And the class system there, just because he got the influence of class system of Indian class system, it just talks about 5-tier class system: alpha, beta, gamma and epsilons. Here it very much reflects the Indian caste system also, where you can find forward caste, backward caste, other backward classes, and you got scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, all those things. So even in that, he had reflected in his novel the 5-tier class system in this novel. And where you find the characters like John Savage, the protagonist of the novel, finds very difficult. He is from the real world. He is a very much contrast against the brave new world created by the author, and he was not able to live or adjust himself into that system. So what happens? He is not able to understand the feelings, understand the emotional system, all the system of the brave new world, and he finds himself in trouble. And John Savage himself falls in love with a woman called Lenina, where he loves her, but she doesn't love him, and he was cheated by her, and he comes out of the emotional system, where the woman is very much not at all connected with emotional in that world. You cannot have a love affair anymore with one person, where you can similarly we can find here nowadays woman or the man doesn't love each other in a perfect manner. Those days are gone, and there is a concept called death conditioning, which means where mother of John Savage will be in a deathbed, and the people around the world, they say there should not be any kind of the fear or emotional feelings for death. So they enjoy among themselves the death of Linda, that is the mother of John Savage, where John Savage will be finding it very difficult to understand where a person is in his deathbed about to die, that is his own mother, and he is not able to understand that the people around the deathbed, that is the people around here, is not able to understand the feelings of John Savage. So death conditioning, which means death is not at all meaning at all. This doesn't carry any meaning at all, which is very much here in the present 21st century, which is equivalent to mercy killing. And the mother of John Savage dies and everybody celebrates. This is what happens in the brave new world. And at the same time, John Savage is not able to withstand the system, and he hangs himself for not able to adjust into the system of brave new world, and he dies and kills himself, which means the individuality of a real man who has emotions and feelings is ripped off there in this new world by Huxley. And the history is no more there. Huxley wants to create a world where there is no history at all. He wants to rip off the emotional feelings, and even when you have a love affair, even you have a sexual affair, it's all mechanical. And the present world, the people, everyone feels the same thing, and even the sex has become an emotional, left out of emotional feelings and affairs. So by this I conclude my presentation. Thank you very much.